Alright, so hello. I am Thaw again. I am the world record holder for both the unrestricted category and the standard category. I want to go over a few things because right at the beginning of the run there's a lot of things to go over, so I want to get as much out of the way. So the main gimmick of this game is that there's 4 playable characters. I'm going to be playing as Lilac. Her main thing is that she focuses much more on maintaining speed rather than constantly gaining speed, which gives her very, at least in my opinion, satisfying movement. We're going to go on the beginner item set because it has elemental burst, which is a slightly extra damage to bosses. And for what unrestricted means, basically there's a lot of glitches that got patched at some point in development. One specific one I won't say right now caused a lot of the current Lilac runners to just stick on one version. And because of that, they all chose, and because of that split, we had to sort of split Lilac in half. Standard is the current patch of the game at 60 FPS, and unrestricted is any patch at any in-game FPS. So, little spoiler warning, you are going to see some FPS shenanigans. So timing starts when I click Nope to skip the tutorial. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is instantly go into the menu and turn on No Knockback. I'll explain what that does soon. I'm going to go over some tech real quick. You're going to see me do a bunch of these drop kicks. These are dive kicks with, I've never done that before. But those dive kicks, they basically halt air drag. Air drag is a mechanic where as you go up, you slow down. And obviously that's good for casuals because it makes precision platforming a lot easier, but it's bad for us because we want to go fast. So you're going to basically see me doing that a lot. A couple other things, you might have seen me do a dash earlier, or right there. That is a dragon boost. It is our main way of gaining speed. We also have a cyclone, which is the de facto double jump. That's not good. Yeah, that's bad. It's just used to gain height or specifically to amplify height gain. Right there, that's an uppercut. It's just the better double jump. Right here, I'm going to grab a gold gem. These are used to buy items, but you'll only see me buy items twice throughout the entire run. That is great. Oh my god. That is not supposed to happen. Oh my god. I'm failing everything right now. We're now going to fight the first of many bosses throughout the run. This is Proto-Pincer. Proto-Pincer is very annoying. I did not get the quick kill there. You want to defeat 2 of the health bars before. That's why it's bad. You want to defeat 2 of the health bars before it goes into a ball phase again, because then it's really hard to catch up with. I sadly failed that, so really bad first level. But that is the first level down. I need to adjust a little bit. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is just hop instantly into the level. If you've watched a run of this game before, you might have seen them buy the attack potion here, but we're going to skip that. And we're going to switch to 30 FPS because we're going to switch. I'm going to clip out of bounds. I'll explain that in a second. I just have to concentrate on movement. That was the worst menu of all time. Alright, so right there we did something known as a layer clip. So the way the game handles overlapping collisions is through collision layers. And for the most part, almost the entire level is done on one collision layer. But right there, we basically bypass a collision layer by being in front of it, or behind it one frame and then in front of it the next frame. So we never actually touch it, which puts us on the long collision layer, which basically lets us go out of bounds for the entire level. Right there, we have to grab a certain item. That's going to be very useful for the second half of the run, which I'll explain later, because it's not really useful right now. We're just going to do the rest of the run level normally. I have no idea where I am. Alright, I know where I am. Good enough backup. This is the second boss. I can actually explain one of the techs of this game. What I did right there, or was tried to do, was known as an uppercut cyclone. So cyclone, it's sort of this really weak but multi-hit move. Like the slowest kill in the boss imaginable. But uppercut is a much slower but stronger move. And for some reason, I have no idea why, if you cancel an uppercut into a cyclone, it transfers the attack properties of cyclone into uppercut, which makes cyclone do a lot more damage. Right here, I'm going to buy the Excel potion, and this is a relatively recent reroute. I discovered this in April. It's actually about like 10 to 15 seconds faster to use Excel potion throughout the entire run than the attack potion, because the amount of speed you get outweighs the damage loss from not having attack potion. So this is Tiger Falls. There's not much to mention until the boss, for this level at least.
So if I may be bold as to sort of make a special announcement while we get to that boss, we have a new bid war opened up for our next run, which is the Super Mario Odyssey closed versus boxers. You know, all the long-standing debate in Super Mario Odyssey. Now we have a bid war for this. Boxers or closed? If boxers is in the lead, Mario will remain in his boxes. Now, if closed takes the lead at any point, Mario will be, well, obviously in his clothes. So much like in the last run with the Hat of the Run, it's going to be a very dynamic, very open. It won't be something that gets decided at the start of the run. It'll be something that will constantly be changing. So if Boxers is in the lead, that means that Close can still retake the lead at a later point, or vice versa.
All right. So I'm about to get to the boss. You can carry momentum off that. I don't know why that works. That's like a lot of this thing. I don't know why it works. So this is Rosebud, one of the worst bosses in the game. Because unlike most bosses in this game that are like cycle dependent, this boss just decides what it wants to do. I'm probably going to end up losing like 10 years. Oh, it's actually being kind of nice right now. Okay. But you wanted Rosebud to like go high. It went low. So I kind of just have to, okay, that was actually good. Yeah, I had to kind of improvise there. There's a setup that I tried doing, but it sometimes just decides not to work. Just the way it goes. Can't complain, because Sub 2 is really good for not having a setup. Alright, next level is Robot Graveyard. And Robot Graveyard has another layer cut, but this one's different because it doesn't require us to go to a lower FPS. Right here, I'm going to do a blink dash cancel, and actually fail the blink dash cancel, lol, and failed again, lol. There we go. So I don't know why it happens. Like I said, that's a lot of things in this game. But for some reason, if a slope is facing to the right and you blink dash off of it, it will give you the vertical speed, which allows you to get really high. And I failed that. Okay, got it. So there's just like a hole there, and you can just drag and boost into that hole to get straight to the end of the level. I think it saves like 10 seconds? I don't know. This is Monster Cube. I don't like this fight with this route. Okay, I was just about to complain about, or I was complaining about the fight. That was the quick kill. You want to, he has this flying phase, and you want to kill the boss before that flying phase. That is like one of the few times I've ever done that. I think the first time I've ever done that in like a full game setting.
while we're getting to this next level, I want to jump in real quick. We have a $5 donation from Cupcake Venom saying, "Zoomies!" And my God, is this game just zoomies? I am very much loving the gameplay so far, and those $5 went into close. So for now, Mario will remain closed for the Odyssey run that we got coming up after this.
All right. Keeping up with the tradition of every single level or most levels so far having something insane. This level has the biggest skip in the game. Normally this level takes about 3 minutes to complete. Hopefully this level will not take me 3 minutes to complete. There's something going to be really bad if it takes me 3 minutes. So right when I enter this loop, I'm going to lower the FPS to 30. Wait, did I get it? No, I didn't get it. That was weird. I'm a little upset I didn't get that. I practiced it this morning. Alright, there we go. So we're going to clip out of bounds like we did in Shenlong Park. If I position it correctly. Alright, I just finished the level. And I would explain what just happened there, but something similar is going to happen in the next level, and the next level is also really difficult, so I want to concentrate for that. Yeah, I didn't get enough height for that. I knew I should have practiced this morning. Oh my god. There we go. Alright, I'm sorry that took so long. Okay, so every single star card is actually out of bounds. So in theory, you can skip any boss. But due to the way like out of bounds works in this game, only in certain levels can you only in certain levels can you actually like grab the card to skip the boss early, and those two levels have to meet those conditions. Also in that level, another thing you need to explain about the last level, we had to have auto guard equipped for like the entire game before that because the boost off the lasers only works if you have auto guard. I think it's because the game gives you knockback for 1 frame before applying the blow. Or something like that. I don't know. Right here, I'm going to... please don't tell me. I practiced this. Why? There we go. Alright, we're going to clip out of bounds again. There's a lot of tricks right at the start of the run. It's awesome. 7, 1. Alright, now we're at the end of the level. I promise not every level has out of bounds or something. No. There's a cycle I wanted to hit there. Alright, this is another fight. Oh, nice. I didn't get the chance to mention it, but at the start of the level, I unequipped Elemental Burst because if you have Elemental Burst equipped, for some reason the boss like freaks out going to the final phase and makes the animation go like 5-10 seconds longer. So it's faster to just menu off of it. But we need to get back to it for the next fight because the quick kill requires the extra tick damage from Elemental Burst. Oh, thanks, game. This is Airship Saguada, keeping the tradition of every single level having something insane. We're going to be skipping basically the entire first half of the level, hopefully. Okay, thank you. 1, 2. Yeah, you can just run across like all the ships. You know anything about the first game speedruns? You might recognize this as something similar to Neela's Sky Battalion strat. And now we're on the main ship. And also bypassed the boss, forgot to mention that. A little fun fact about the level, so if you like view the map in an editor or something, you would actually see that this ship is modeled after what the ship looks like in game. Kind of interesting. And I just clipped through a wall right there. You can just push the block into you and it'll push you out of the wall. Thank you, game. Alright. I'm so geeked right now. Alright, so this is the rematch with the boss we skipped. I never said anything about actually fighting the boss, though. And now we're on to the actual boss of the level. Right. This boss is pretty easy to mess up, so I'm glad it looks like I'm getting the quick kill. Alright, I'll take it. That's the end of the streaks of basically skipping half the level, because the next level has no skips, I forgot. My mind's so distracted right now. This is Phoenix Highway. I like this level. There's not really anything insane in it though, it's just like really fun movement.
Now, for people who are tuning in and also either on Twitch or for anyone here at PGX that is walking around and just curious about who we are, well, we are Steel City Speedsters, a collective of runners in Pittsburgh and surrounding areas who love going fast and breaking games. But also, you don't have to be from Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania to be a part of the Steel City Speedsters community. Take me, for example. I live in Ohio, so anyone from the surrounding area is more than welcome to join. So come join our Discord, and you can type it in chat at !Discord, or if you're here at PGX, we have a QR code at various spots around our table here at PGX, where you can scan, and it'll take you right to our Discord page. Or server, I guess that's the proper nomenclature.
This is Discord, he's just a train. I didn't get the chance to mention it, but there is actually a, basically IL only strat where you can clip out of bounds. It takes about like 10 seconds, but like I said, it's basically IL only. And that's the end of the level.
Stay classy.
It's actually a pretty good Phoenix Highway. Alright, next up is Zowland. I did partially lie about there being, about the streak being lost, because this level we will clip out of bounds. Something I want to mention about this level is that this is like the first out of bounds ever found for the game. It was like 1 month after the game came out. I gotta concentrate. I think that's good. Yeah. That worked. Yeah, that was discovered like 1 month after the game came out. And never got patched. I have no idea why. Because the Robot Graveyard Clip, that got patched, but this never did. We just go straight to the end of the level. No need to reset the checkpoint. Nice game. I want to blink dash cancel into this for max speed. You can also use blink dash cancels in some places to basically get the max speed instantly, but it's kind of a niche. Okay, that works. This is Harold. His first phase is really nice, but his second phase, he splits into 3 smaller versions of himself for absolutely no reason. What is going on, man? What is going on? I don't particularly like this fight because it's very random. I have no idea what to do in the second phase. I just do it and hope it's well. Which that went decent, so I can't complain. Alright, so now we're on to the Battlesphere. And the Battlesphere, instead of being like one long-ish level, is just 4 smaller levels combined into one. First one being Beginner's Gauntlet. Wait, is that a sub 30? Okay, no, it's not. Sub 30 is like roughly what I want to aim for. Alright, next we got the Battle Royale. It's just 8 waves of enemies, but you have all the other playable characters helping. Helping is a bit of a stretch depending on what they do though, so... What is going on? Alright, nice. I love that. I'm so confused. I can barely even pay attention right now. Yeah, that's a bad enemy tip. Alright, that was pretty bad. I typically want to aim for like a sub-minute there. This next level, it could be even worse, because this next level is entirely RNG dependent. You have to beat all your friends, but they're all moved completely randomly. As anyone who's run this game will tell you, every single one of them has like some minor reason that they're annoying. I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, like this, they just tend to run away. That was almost a sub 20, which is really good. I think one time I've had like a 30-second hero battle royale. It can be really bad sometimes. But now we're gonna end this with the easiest, which is Kalau's challenge, which is just basically doing a small track 5 times. It's supposed to be a race, but it's not really much of a competition. Sorry, did I say 5 times? I meant 4 times. So, yeah, for some reason you could just skip the final lap. No one entirely knows why. My theory is that... don't want to do that. My theory is that, as soon as you cross the final lap, it spawns the ending, but it has no code to actually despawn if you go back over, which is why it works. Right there, I just bought 2 items. The first item, which I just equipped, is called Payback Ring. What Payback Ring does is that it gives you an extra damage buff if you have no lives remaining. And the item I got in Shinland Park is called No Stocks, which always gives you no lives remaining. So you can tell it's a pretty good combo. It's basically a combo every character uses, especially for boss fights, because it's really broken. The other item I thought was one-hit KO, and that's an item I'll explain why we need later. Right now we're in Globe Opera 1. I've never seen that before. Classic. But at the beginning of the level, I grabbed a shield. And you want to keep that shield for the boss because there's a quick kill that requires you to have a shield. Although with how this is going, it's like most likely not going to happen. Also, the quick kill is hard anyways. I like hit it 20% of the time or so. Alright. Let's see what happens. That's a fail though. Yeah, that quick kill is pretty hard. It also saves a lot of time. But, you know, that works too. Honestly, a 1-4X, especially with a failed quick kill, is not that bad. Globe Opera 1 is so good. Oh, never mind. So this is Globe Opera 2. I love this level personally, but I know a lot of people do not like it. I might have already messed up big time. I definitely messed up big time. The one annoying thing about this level is that there is a cycle you need to hit about 40 seconds in. That can be pretty tight. It's one of those things where it's like, if you make like one mistake, you're probably not hitting it, but it's also relatively easy to just not make a mistake. Actually, I kind of freaked out. This should be good enough. Never mind. Maybe? Maybe. I barely missed it. Yeah, so that lost like 5 seconds. Alright, so the main gimmick of this level is that there's 6 doors and you have to do 4 of them in order to actually get to the boss fight. Okay, that works. A little thing is that relatively recently another runner this game found a reroute for this level that saves 4 seconds. I'll not be showing that off here because I didn't get the time to actually learn it. So that room was based off Dragon Valley. This is based on this is based off Airship Squad, and similar to Airship Squad, we're going to be skipping this key block door. Same general idea. You just have a block get pushed into you, and it clips you through. Normally, if I was playing Ultimate, like I said, I would go to AV Museum, but I didn't get the chance to learn it, so we're doing this one instead. I had to set up the blink dash cancel there because for some reason if you don't, you just will lose all your speed. No idea why. That's so high up. Alright, now we're on to the boss. The boss of this level is Beast 2. I forget if I mentioned it, the last boss was Beast 1. And you might be seeing a pattern here. For the beginning, we need to hit the boss while it's midair. which I did do. That's great.
Cyclone.
That was bad. Alright, good backup. And now we need to do it again. Oh, yeah, I got it. There we go. Why did I gain, like, no height from that? Doesn't matter, but... And that's go buffer 2. Alright. The next level is a, the first official boss stage. Snowfields was also a boss stage, but we kind of just skipped the entire level, so it doesn't matter. The first boss is Beast 3. Yeah, it's almost like there's a pattern here. Nice. Alright. Oh, this is one of my favorite strats. So if we're up here, and then if we do this, we could just slide to hit the boss instantly. Oh, that's not good. I don't think I got it. Dang it. Yeah, this is BFF 2000. I was gonna say this boss is funny because it's slightly more intimidating. It's much easier to hit the quick kill, and then I failed the quick kill. So that, you know, that works too.
Want to take a quick moment and first of all, and shout out over on Twitch to QB the Orca who raided into us. Well, welcome in everyone from QB's stream. Thank you so much for checking out Steel City Speedsters. We are in the middle right now of Freedom Planet 2. So far, it's been a very, very fun run, and so far, it's been a wonderful, wonderful event so far, and we still got plenty more runs coming up, but let's all just enjoy what and appreciate how great this run of Freedom Planet 2 has been so far.
Alright, so at the beginning of this level, I equipped one-hit KO. And that's because this level has 2 ways you can actually finish it. You can either defeat the boss at the end or get a game over in the final room, because it's one of those places where, like, story-wise, you're meant to fail. That's not good. This might be bad. Yeah. What is going on? There we go, sorry. I had to concentrate on counting my... I cannot menu right now, that was great. Yeah, we just skipped the boss there by basically building up enough speed to bypass that wall in 1 frame. I call those soft boundaries. They're basically boundaries where whenever you're inside them, they just push you back. So if you just bypass it in 1 frame, it won't push you back, obviously. So we were able to skip the boss, and then we could just take 1 hit to this boss and finish the level.
I have fought better.
Alright, and that is the first half of the game done. And now we're going on to Title Gate. A little thing to note is that we do not change item sets for the entire rest of the run. We're stuck on this for the rest of the run. We're going to go down here and... that should work. Yep, clip out of bounds again. A little fun fact about that, or I don't know. There's this Freedom Planet YouTuber that actually covered that trick in a video relatively recently, or maybe like a couple months ago. I don't know if that counts as recent anymore. Which I thought was cool. He also used my run, which is also probably why I think it's cool. Yeah, we can just clip out of bounds. Can't say it's never happened before. I should have seen that one coming. And now we get to fight the boss out of bounds as well. Originally we didn't used to do this, but another top Lilac runner had the idea of doing this, and I was like, oh, that could totally work. And it saves like 30 seconds to do this or something. I think it's more like 20, but you get what I mean. I also never got the chance to mention, so we're playing the entire run, at least as of right now, on mid-zoom. There are 2 advantages to mid-zoom so far. One of them was in the level Tiger Falls. There was a cycle that is only realistically possible at mid-zoom. You can do it on high zoom, but I've done it like once or twice on high zoom. And then in that fight, it's slightly more visible on mid-zoom. I used to switch from, I guess a little spoiler, I'm going to switch to a high zoom in this level. I used to switch to high zoom at Palace Courtyard until I figured out that it makes that fight easier. So this is Skybridge. So the thing about Skybridge, that's more of a combat stage. There's these little arenas. You're supposed to do 3 of them. Little spoiler, we're not going to do any of them. Well, except for this one. This one's required, but I don't really count it. Good.
Cyclone.
I'm gonna go up here. We're gonna go high zoom. I'll explain that on the next level. I'm just having the best menuing right now. That was a really good Skybridge though. 116 is really good. So the sole reason that I switched to high zoom is solely for this level. So this is the obligatory cycle-based level. As you can see, there's these electric things, and they come out in a cycle sometimes. I don't know what black magic they did to mess this up, but sometimes they'll either, there's like some weird stuff that'll happen which can make cycles get messed up. There's one section later on where it's like really prevalent. If I remember, I think this one, I call it double time, where it's like it will pulse twice as much than it usually does. I don't know what causes it. That is like the second time that's ever happened to me where I missed that jump. Alright, so this section coming up is the main reason. For some reason, it's possible to like get messed up and have these cycles like not overlap properly, which can lose like 7 to 10 seconds. Except if you're on high zoom, it's like basically always gonna happen. Like the cycle's always gonna line up well on high zoom. That section is the sole reason I play on high zoom for the second half of the game. I'm willing to lose like 2 seconds from menuing if it means more consistency. Also, I grabbed a water shield. There is an enemy that I also need the damage tank with a shield. Coming up is a really cool strat, by the way. I love that strat. And that's a damage tank reaction. There's a handful of cases where managing your shields are important. There's only like one more level in the run where it's like managing your shield is essential. I'll mention it when it comes up. Alright, If there are any donations, now's a good time because nothing's going to happen for like the next 15 seconds.
Well, I do want to remind you that to everyone that all donations go to Assemble Pittsburgh. At Assemble, they use learning as a tool to create a more equitable future for youth and learners in the Pittsburgh region and beyond. They build confidence through making, connect learners, makers, technologists, and artists, and nurture agency in learners. Now, if you want to donate, of course, type !donate in chat. That'll take you to our donation page. And we do have the Clothes vs. Boxer bid war going on for the Super Mario Odyssey run that we got coming up pretty soon. And so far, right now in the lead is still Clothes at $5. So if you want Mario to wear those boxers, be sure to not only donate, but make sure when you are at the donation page to click the ad incentive and pick boxers as your way for your donation to go towards it. Or if you want Mario to stay closed, you can also do that and make the lead even greater.
I'm so geeked right now. Okay, like 5 things just happened I didn't get a chance to mention. I had an insane backup on that boss. There's a cycle you want to do where you can kill it after like the second time it jumps. I messed up the beginning, but I was able to back it up, so I only lost like 3 seconds. I also completely forgot how to do the beginning here. What is going on? Completely forgot how to do the beginning. I'm apparently forgetting how to do the entire level right now. It's like the worst Zulong of all time. Speaking of which, this is Zulong Jungle. I don't think a lot of Lilac runners like this level because it's very much not made for Lilac. I'm not liking it right now because I'm playing it very poorly. There's a lot of enemies just like all over the place. What is going on? Where this doesn't normally happen. Right. I'm gonna have to focus for the boss real quick. And it's over. Alright, that's good enough. I don't even want to mention anything that just happened there. Well, let's just ignore that entire level happened. Alright, so now we're on to Nalao Lake. So, a bit of story. You're supposed to... Oh, I don't remember anything right now. I'm too focused. Basically, you're trying to get this drone... because the final boss is trying to use it for something. One of her minions is using it for his own thing. Something happens and you need to remake his robot, the robot we fought in Auditorium. We're not going to do any of that. I'm going to go to here. And now we're out of bounds again. I'm so low. There we go. Alright. And when we respawn, we are in a giant mech. That's because the game assumes if you got into that checkpoint, you were already in the mech. Very common thing games do. Now we're going to have a mech fight. I lied about the mech fight, by the way. Yeah, so the star card is just there. It's kind of the same thing as a key block skip where you can just have the boss push you out of bounds. And the star card is right there, which allows you to prevent fighting the boss, which I like because I do not like fighting that boss. Now it's on to Ancestral Forge, which is the obligatory puzzle level, but we're not going to be doing basically any puzzles.
if I may chime in real quick, we have a $10 donation from Stephen A. Say, welcome to PGX. We need a constant speedrunning presence here every year. I couldn't agree more. So far, I am loving PGX so far, and I hope everyone has been enjoying not only this run, but the runs that we've had and the runs that we got coming up this weekend.
This level is split up into 4 different sections, all based off of elements. This is the fire puzzle. Sadly, we do have to do this puzzle, but it's not really a puzzle. Oh, okay. Oh, my lord. But we will be skipping the next puzzle. I didn't get the chance to mention this, but we lowered the water before entering the fire puzzle, so we didn't have to wait for it now. Now we're able to instantly enter the water puzzle. And that's the entire puzzle. You're normally supposed to, like, raise and lower the water level. We don't need to do that. We're just built different. Sadly, we can't really skip this puzzle either. Okay, I did get that. Yeah, you can just make it all the way up there. It's very inconsistent, though, so I'm glad I did, in fact, hit it, because it's very cool.
You know what else is cool? Our Twitch chat cheering you on, Dog. We've had a lot of people saying in chat, "Go, Dog, go!" Thank you, everyone who's chiming in. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment.
Thanks for letting me know. This is the flower puzzle. We're also going to be skipping this. This one's really easy to skip. You could just do that. What is going on? Okay. So now we're entering the final room before the boss. So if we raise the water level, we can get a momentum cyclone off of this, which allows us to get up here. You get another fish key. That should be good. And now we're at the end of the level. We haven't had a really bad boss in a while, so this is a Lilac. That was a really bad beginning. The Lilac goes in the ground and they can spawn anywhere, and you want the boss to spawn in very specific circumstances, so you can basically get it down to... I did in fact get RNG for this. Yep, you can defeat it while it's going down, which causes it to instantly end. That saves like 7 seconds, and we're gonna get like a 1x, which is crazy, because I don't think I executed that well. And now we're on the Magma Starscape. Magma Starscape has a couple cool skits, so it's mostly just cool movement.
just a quick reminder, all donations made throughout this weekend do go to Assemble Pittsburgh, and a core part of Assemble's mission is to make education accessible, especially to those in underserved communities. They provide a space for experiential learning that is often free for neighborhood youth. And we also have a $3 donation from Anonymous going into Boxers, meaning that lead for that Close had at the start, it shrunk a little bit, so Close is still in the lead, but just barely. Only $3 more, and Boxers retakes the lead. Well, not retakes the lead. It takes the lead for the first time, and then now becomes the contest to see whether Close can retake the lead. But so far, Close is in the lead for the Mario Odyssey run we got coming up.
I didn't get the chance to mention it, but I was able to go take an upper path that I think normally Lilac isn't supposed to take, but again, we're just built different. Now we're on to 100 Drillion, the hardest boss in the entire game. This would also be a good time for donations, if there are any.
Yeah, that $3 donation that I mentioned, again, goes into the Close vs. Boxers bid war, which, if you want Boxers to be in the lead, technically only need $2.01 for it to retake the lead. However, we just make it an even 5 numbers, and 5's a nice, good number. See if we can get a $5 donation train going in. If you want to have your voice heard in this Close versus Boxer debate, remember, when you're donating, hit type exclamation mark donate in chat, or if you're here at PGX, we got QR codes all over our table here at where we are stationed at. And make sure that when you're making your donation to hit the add incentive button, there should be a little pop-up window that comes up with the menuing, and you can select either Close or Boxers for the Odyssey run that we got coming up.
Alright, I was able to hit the wall climb at the end there. You lose like 15 if you don't hit that, so I'm really glad I did. The next level is also really hard, so I'm going to request silence for this next level. What is going on? What? There we go. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that is really bad. I'm honestly just gonna restart that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There was a chance I would have died there, and I would have had to do it anyways. I'm gonna bury you. Plus, this one's already going a lot better. Still wasn't that good, but you know, I'll take it.
That was a nail biter, I gotta say.
No, that fight is really hard. That fight is really hard.
It looked like that. I mean, there were so many things flying at a million miles per hour. That to beat that boss, that just takes a lot of skill from what I could see.
Yeah, I didn't even get the fastest kill, because you typically want to do it in like 28 or 30 seconds. Okay, but so this is Gravity Bubble. I've been talking a lot about obligatory levels. This is the obligatory water level, but it's actually a fun water level, because you can just zoom through the entire level as Lilac. Did I get hole in one? I almost got hole in one. This level is also incredibly cycle-based. There's these spinny things that run on a global cycle. You kind of have to know how to deal with them, either by intuition or reaction. That's great. That just happens sometimes. You have to accept it. Ooh. Typically lose shield around this. I'm kind of happy I still have shield. This is the main part I was talking about. Never mind. Forgot I said I still have shield. It's still looking like a pretty good gravity bubble though. Oh, that's a nice time entering. Alright, so now we're being chased by a giant spaceship. The basic gist of the lore is that the final boss wants to use that spaceship in the background to eat the moon, delete the planet. If you want to know more information, play the game. Right there, we just went over a trigger that usually takes us to the end, and instead we should just swim all the way to the end of the level. I didn't see this final time, but I think that was like a really good gravity bubble. Not like IL record, but insanely good. Oh, never mind. I thought that was like a 251 for a second. Alright, the next level is a shmump. There's also a shmump stage in the first game. It's sort of the obligatory shmump stage. The only thing I need to mention is that I purposely got a way to kill enemies because killing every enemy will speed up the level a tiny bit. Beyond that, if there's any donations, that was a great time for them.
Well, all of our donations do go towards Assemble, and Assemble's commitment to equity extends to its staff as it seeks funding for mental health and trauma-informed care training to better support its community. Assemble's ultimate goal is to create a more equitable future by providing an on-ramp for students of all ages to take their ideas into the world with confidence and skills. And we could not be happier with all the donations we've gotten up to this point, but if you still like to donate and support Assemble, make sure to type in the chat !donate. That'll take you to our donation page where you are able to give whatever amount you want to give. Any amount is more than enough, and we appreciate any support that comes Assemble's way.
I do want to say, I don't know if there's a certain member of the Freedom Planet 2 community, I don't know if he's watching right now. But he is going to be very upset because he's been telling me to learn this one strat at the end of this level for like months, and I just keep not doing it because I don't feel like it. So... so coming up is the boss Crabulon. The basic gist of the fight is you want to stay close enough to the boss that you're bypassing his arms, but not so close that you're like inside him. Because I think if you're too close to inside of him, you'll like your bullets will go through him for some reason. I have no idea why. And that's it. Alright, so now we're going on to the final actual levels of the game. Starting with Bakunawa Rush. What is there to say about this level? You start off outer... what? You start off outer space. You can actually breathe in outer space. I don't know the exact lore. But there's a level in the first game where, in one of the final levels, the final villain removes the oxygen to his spaceship, and you can't breathe. And now you can breathe out of space in this game. So, canonically, the characters learn how to breathe in outer space at some point between two games. Just thought I'd point that out. Another thing you'll notice that these are basically copies of older bosses. You'll see that a lot. You'll see a lot of bosses reused. You don't have to fight them though. Except for these guys. I'm so bad. Forgot I had the cyclone there. Okay, thank you. Sometimes, like, I think due to subpixel shenanigans, the ball will go in like a different direction, which is like a million years. Alright, so another fun fact. If you go to 30 FPS during this like ball section, you can you're gonna see it's gonna take 4 balls. You can actually do 3 if you go to 30, but it only takes 4 seconds, while it takes 4 seconds to go from 60 to 30. So it's not worth doing it in full game. Just thought I'd mention though. And now approaching this section, I'm going to do some movement in order to get out of bounds. Spoiler: this is the last time we're going out of bounds this run. Really hope I don't mess this up, because it's gonna be really bad if I mess this up. Alright. Now we're at the end of the level. There is actually, speaking of strats that I could have done, there's a strat called Rail Driver Out of Bounds, where you do the this boss completely out of bounds. And I was considering learning it for this marathon, because I kind of, well, I haven't formally learned it. You did it in IL like half a year ago, but obviously I don't remember it. I just didn't get the time to learn it. It's also like insanely difficult. From what I remember, it's about on par with Snowfield Skip. Please tell me about that. Thank you. You have to sort of manipulate the boss in a certain way in order to get the quick kill like that. I don't know fully what causes the boss to move in certain ways. Like, I don't know the in-code reason as to why. Also, that's a really good Bacchanal Rush. But I do know like roughly what you do. So this next level is also another boss stage. It is really hard, so I'm also going to request silence for this level as well. It's so over. It's so over. What is going on? What is going on? Yeah, that works. For reference, I roughly want like a 45 there. 45 or lower. Best you could do like a 37, I think, with Excel Pot. Alright, now we're going on to 3 levels that I like to call the Gauntlet, because they're all like pretty hard in their own way. The first part of the Gauntlet is Clockwork Arboretum. This level is only really hard because it's so long. For most characters, it's the longest level in the game, I think. Like, even if I play this well, which it already looks like I'm not doing, it's going to take me roughly 4.5 minutes to beat this level. The level is split up into multiple different floors. Why do I keep failing that? That's bad. But the level is split up into multiple different floors. I did that really well. That is insane movement I just did there. Ah, it's over. Never mind, I lied. Actually, it's over. I wanted to keep that shield for a 4 or 5. You need a damage tank through an enemy. What are you doing? So bad.
Cyclone.
Alright. You can use those gems there to recharge your Dragon Boost faster. Alright, this is the floor that I needed shield for. It should be pretty evident as to why I would need shield here. Oh, that's bad. I might have to avoid gems depending on how many I get here. I should be fine. I'll see. So yeah, you go to the level, the floor ones, and then all these like spikes get laid out that you have to avoid. Except we're only gonna half avoid them. Really nice, neat placement, if I say so myself. You could just fall straight through to the beginning. You're not supposed to do that, but, you know, when have we ever cared about what we're supposed to do? This floor is a bit annoying. I don't like my gem count. Oh, that's a bad. Okay, never mind. That's bad. Oh, never mind. I'm fine. I'll talk about this again, or well, I might mention in the next level. But if I get an extra stock, which you get at 250 gems, you don't get the damage boost from Payback Ring, which is really bad. This is Core Zone 2. The first phase is pretty self-explanatory. The second phase is pretty difficult. Well, you can do this. Oh, I actually got it. Okay. I'm shocked at 2x, though. I've been getting like really good at Clockwork Arboretum.
Kind of goes to show that you are a hashtag certified gamer.
Thank you. This level is one of my favorites. It's called Inversion Dynamo. It has these teleporters. And you can use these teleporters to basically get the top speed instantly in certain contexts. I didn't actually mention too many differences between this category and standard, but for some reason the devs like changed the way that the portals work sometime between the version we use for this category and the current patch, which makes this level a lot less fun. Right here, we're going to do something really funny. If we hold down here, we just fall through the portal and continue. For some reason, that only works if you have desync on. Really wish I knew that one. Sometimes it's better just not to question things. Okay, thank you. That skip, if I didn't hit it, probably would have lost like a minute. The skip itself only saves like 15 seconds. There was a section to the right where you basically have to climb up a tower. But if you miss that skip, you are significantly more likely to gain in stock, which would mean you have less damage for the boss. There have been times where I basically, because normally you want like a sub 3 here, but there have been times where I missed that skip and basically almost got like a 4-minute inversion dynamo because of it. Alright, now we're entering the boss. Oh, this is Titan Armor 2. It's the same as the mech fight that we skipped, except we don't have the luxury of a mech this time. Well, I personally find this fight easier. Still pretty difficult. Oh no! Okay, that was actually really good. Is that a 3x? I think that's a 3x. That was a really good Titan Armor 2. That fight is actually way harder than it might seem.
That's how it's done.
I've practiced that a lot, though. Yeah, that's a 3x. That is insane, by the way. Record's like a 236. But it also uses the attack pod, so it gets a quicker fight. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that there's a level where you have to manage your shields. This is that level. So the gimmick of this level, as you'll see in about like a second, is that all the walls and floors will occasionally become electrified. But not only that, for the boss, we need to damage tank certain attacks in order to do the boss quickly. So we get 4 shields throughout the entire level. If we want to basically guarantee the quick kill, we need 3 of those 4 shields. It is possible in 2. So basically 3 or 4 guarantees that you hit it. 2 is iffy depending on how you play. And then 1, you're kind of just screwed. Hold on, I'm playing this pretty well. I got actually the hard part out of the way. The rest of the level is pretty easier compared to that. What? I touched that floor. I'm not complaining, but it touched it. Never mind, I have 3 shields. What? I've never done that before. I also saw that missile. You know, whatever. We're at the boss with 3 shields. So this is Lunar Command. Basically, it's the thing that controls the giant laser. I didn't drag it far enough. If you kill the boss directly in the middle of the arena, the card will spawn right on top of you, which allows you to grab it, saving about like a couple seconds. I didn't get it though. It's pretty difficult to get, especially with Excel Pop. But 205 is really good. 205 is maybe not good. That's about like what I would expect out of Lunar Cannon. All right, so now we're at the final boss. I'm going to be focusing on the final boss because the final boss goes by so quickly it's too hard to explain everything. The basic gist of what you need to know is that the final boss is split up into 6 different phases. Each of the phases is sort of based off of a different element. And hopefully if I do this correctly, it'll take me about a little over 2 minutes.
Your suffering will be a masterpiece. Blue Moon!
Okay, that's... not going well.
Super moon.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Eclipse.
Thanks, Murga.
Lilith.
Okay, I think this is about like a 206. That was a 204. Alright, here's the funny part. Time isn't yet because there's a 20-second cutscene right after the fight that can't be skipped on this version. What's even funnier, I can mention this now, is that on older versions of the game, the final cutscene wasn't skippable, which was like a minute and a half. This is the first version that allows you to skip the cutscene. So I'm really, really glad that's not the case. Time is now.
GG, what a run.
I can see the real time here. I want to see what the in-game time is. I have a rough estimate of what it is, and if so, that's kind of funny. Okay, never mind. Oh, okay. Okay, that's actually really weird, but it kind of makes sense. That is actually the best stage time I've ever had in a full game run. I think my PB was like a 59:10 stage time. I have no idea why the stage time is so low, but I'm not necessarily going to complain about that.
Hey, that's the PGX difference.
Yeah. Can I shout out some people before the next run?
Absolutely. Floor is yours.
All right. A couple people I want to shout out. Master Power, he's like the only other active Freedom Planet 2 player at the moment. He plays not Carol. He plays Nira, who's like one of the other characters. Avakailef, he's like not as active. He's a mod for the game. He was the one who discovered the AV Museum reroute in Globe Opera 2. I sadly didn't get to do. And the only other one I could think of off the top of my head is RC Helicopter. He was the top level Lilac runner before me. He's still really good at the game. I think like last December he stole a couple of my ILs actually. I used to have IL sweep, but he stole a few of them, and I haven't gone around to taking them back yet. But yeah, that's everything. I can't think of anything else I want to say at least.
Well then, once again, everybody, give it up for Thoggin with a phenomenal run of Freedom Planet 2, and very much appreciate all these runners for kicking off Steel City Speedsters at PGX in such a fantastic way. But that will be it for my time on the mic. That will be it. My host shift has ended. However, I will be back on the host mic all throughout this weekend, and I will be back later tonight with my own run of Pokemon TCG 80% hard mode. But I leave you all in the very, very, very capable hands of Threech. We'll be taking a short break, and when we come back, we still got some phenomenal runs coming up, and Threech as your new host. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.